Let's talk about something that often gets brushed aside but can be incredibly frustrating for both patients and doctors: chronic itching. And you know that feeling when you get a mosquito bite and can't stop scratching? Well, now imagine that all the time without a clear reason. For many adults, this isn't just a minor annoyance. It can disrupt sleep, cause anxiety, and seriously affect quality of life. For a medical provider, it's actually not easy as well. There are many possibilities as to the cause of itching, and each needs to be ruled out in some cases to get to the cause. And here's the most important thing: persistent itching isn't always about dry skin. Sometimes it's a sign of something deeper. So today I'm breaking down why itching occurs, what to watch out for, and most importantly, how to treat it. How do we look at it? Welcome back. I'm Dr. Maria Azizian, a board-certified general surgeon and IFM-certified functional medicine physician. On this channel, I share health tips on the latest medical research, food and supplements, functional medicine, surgery, and skin health to help you feel your best. And if that sounds good, please like, share with your friends, and subscribe. So why does this chronic itching happen? A lot of people assume that itching in adults, especially in older adults, it's just a part of aging. And to some extent, that's somewhat true. As we age, our skin gets drier and it produces less oil, becomes thinner, and loses moisture more easily. And that leads to a condition that's called xerosis, or simply extremely dry skin. But here's the important part, and I will repeat this again: not all itching is just dryness. Before jumping to that conclusion, we need to consider other causes. And let's look at the common causes, common reasons for chronic itching in adults. Let's start with one of the most common ones: medication side effects. And I can easily say that probably any medication can cause itching, in theory. Some medications have rash and itching as a common side effect, and some other medications can cause delayed onset itching, even years after starting them. And I often have this conversation with our patients when they say, "Oh, I have been on this medication for 10 years." Yet it is still possible to start having a reaction or experience a side effect from this medication after so many years of taking it. And here are some common medications that can cause itching. Blood pressure medications, especially ACE inhibitors, diuretics like HCTZ, for example. Statins, which are cholesterol medications. Diabetes medications. Antidepressant and anti-anxiety medications, in general antipsychotics as well. Antiarrhythmic heart drugs. And what can you do? If we suspect a medication, we don't stop it right away without discussing it with the specialist who actually prescribed it in the first place. It may be a life-saving medication that controls your heart rate, for example, and stopping it could be quite dangerous. So stopping a medication is often actually a multidisciplinary effort and work with an allergy testing first, and then communication back and forth with other doctors to make sure that there's a good alternative offered before this medication is stopped. The next very common cause is dear to my heart: food sensitivities and allergies. Any allergy or sensitivity can manifest as itching. And of course, there are many other skin conditions such as eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, seborrheic dermatitis, and others that are related to food sensitivities as well. And I go in depth about variety of foods, from dairy and gluten to shellfish and chocolate and many more other food groups in my book, The Clear Skin Diet: Unlocking the Secret Link Between Food Sensitivities and Skin Health. For example, let's take gluten sensitivity and celiac disease. Dermatitis herpetiformis is an extremely itchy condition that is related to gluten intake that is sometimes not diagnosed promptly, because the actual rash could be mild and subtle, and there could be actually minimal rash, but the itching is intense. And in the same vein, another common reason for itching is leaky gut and disbalance of gut microbiome. So what it means is that the foods we eat and other toxins that we get from our environment disturb our gut microbiome, and that is the balance of different bacteria and other microorganisms. The food additives, pesticides, toxins from fast food and processed foods destroy our gut, and this affects our immunity. Why? Because 70% of our immune system is actually housed in the gut. I repeat it from one video to another. And when our immune system is compromised, all kinds of chronic conditions occur, and itching, unfortunately, is one of them. At our clinic, we do gut tests and work on rebalancing this gut with natural supplements and, of course, dietary changes. Next, we have metabolic disorders like kidney disease, liver disease, and thyroid imbalance that can all lead to itchiness. And when I see a patient in our clinic with chronic itching who has been on steroids with no lasting relief and no diagnosis really, one of the first and simple things is to order or review their latest kidney labs, liver function tests, and a full thyroid panel. In some cases, no connection had been made between these abnormalities and itching, while there may be the actual cause. Correcting the underlying cause with thyroid or kidney or liver abnormalities may not be an easy task. For example, itching is a very common issue and frustrating issue in patients who are on kidney dialysis, and it's very hard to treat it. The next cause is lymphoma and other cancers. Itching, especially without a rash, can sometimes be an early warning sign of lymphoma, blood cancers, including multiple myeloma and others. Then we have infections as a cause. Scabies, lice, and even HIV can cause intense itching, and it's very important for the provider to discuss the possibility of scabies, as it's more common than what we actually think. So to summarize, if a patient is dealing with chronic itching, we don't just assume it's a dry skin. We start looking deeper. Our functional dermatology clinic is actually perfectly suited for this because finding a root cause takes time, and you need this blend of conventional and root cause medicine to get to the bottom of it. So how do we figure out the cause? So where do we start? So when patient comes in with a persistent itching, the first step, of course, after physical examination is to run some tests. These tests help us rule out underlying medical conditions. The essential, the most basic tests are blood work, like CBC. We're looking for infections, anemia, or signs of inflammation. Liver and kidney function tests. As we just discussed, some types of organ dysfunction can cause itching. Thyroid panel. Underactive or overactive thyroid can affect the skin. Other tests may include labs to rule out other infections like HIV, syphilis even. Also more sophisticated tests to help detect lymphoma, multiple myeloma, and other cancers. If all these tests come back normal, but the itching persists, we may need to do skin biopsies, which we do for itching sometimes, imaging, or allergy testing. And that brings me to the most important point. How can you reduce the chronic itching without medication and steroids? Even if itching isn't caused by serious disease, it's still miserable. And here's what you can do, some measures to help. Moisturize every single day. Fragrance-free emollients work best. Take lukewarm, not hot showers. Use gentle hypoallergenic cleansers. Avoid scratchy fabrics like wool and nylon. Use humidifier, especially in the winter. Keep nails short to prevent skin damage from scratching. And so my final thoughts as to when should you see a doctor. If the itching lasts for weeks or months, gets worse at night, isn't relieved by moisturizers or home remedies, has no obvious cause like dry skin or allergies, it's time to get checked. It could be something simple or could be a sign of underlying medical problem. So if this video was helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.